Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I'm going to be giving a review for Arteza watercolor tube colors and the Arteza miniature paintbrushes. I'm also going to be using a new stamp set from Ida Rose Stamps. The tubes of watercolor that come from Arteza can come in different sizes, and this one is 24 colors. I absolutely love the color presentation from Arteza. This is something that I can see over and over again in all of their products. The vibrant colors, all of the variety, it's just wonderful. On the back of the packaging is a key to some of the symbols that are on the tubes. And the colors that come out are very, very true to what the names are and to what the colors are on the outside of the tube. Watercolors can come in many different forms. Oftentimes people will use them from a half pan, and using it from the tube is a little something different. I'm going to be using it in both ways in this video so that I can show you different ways to use that product. This is a swatch chart that I created right after I got the watercolors. Now the first thing I'm going to do is use this empty half pan watercolor holder that I got from Amazon. It does not come with colors, it was just the empty pan. Because I'm going to take each one of these tubes and squeeze out just enough of the color into each one of these little half pans, and I'm going to allow the colors to dry. This is not something that it has in the instructions to do, but my curiosity really was that I wanted to see how they act when they're dry, or using them from a dry state. So I've gotten all the colors loaded, and I'm kind of snapping it down to get any bubbles and make sure that the colors settle down. I left it for 3 days, and this is what it looks like minus the little water droplets. I'm spraying some water onto those to reactivate some of the color a little more easily. Here's a stamp set from Ida Rose Stamps called Pug Christmas. When I got the products from Ida Rose, this one particularly spoke to me, and this little pug that is catching snowflakes with his tongue is the cutest ever. So I thought it would look great being watercolored. And it's a nice small image that's perfect to use the detail in the Arteza miniature brushes. There are 15 brushes in the set. They vary between flat brushes, liner, and round, and I am loving the variety that's here. They're very small, and the one that I'm using to paint the pug is a size 1 round brush. Most of the coloring that I have seen out in the world that's watercoloring is done with a round brush. And that's pretty common, so having this variety is really good. These bristles hold together very well, and they don't there's not a lot of hairs that go stray. This is a very nice brush. What I chose to do is to make the dog look rainbow. I put a lot of pressure on myself first to want to make this dog look realistic it is, I mean. And I finally just came to the conclusion that why do I need to make him look real? I can color him any color I want, and I think I'd like to have a rainbow colored dog. There's no other explanation for it. So using the colors directly from this dried state, they reactivate very well. I have used a little bit of water to spray on each one of the colors, and then I'm also using some water off to the side to put onto my brush, and in between colors I am dabbing the brush off on a microfiber cloth. I'm even using the white to add white to the little dog's eyes, and look at how I can get the details in with this tiny little brush. And this is the largest of the round brushes. There are some smaller that can get even more detailed. In fact, my husband, who likes to paint miniature little army pieces that are, it's like a tabletop game that you paint your own, he's already taken the brushes from me and said, oh, these are perfect, I'll give them back when I'm done. So Arteza, thank you. My husband absolutely adores these brushes. It's hard for him to get something that is this size. So now what I'm going to show is exactly how I used the color in its liquid form or paste form directly from the tube. So I'm using a much larger brush now. This is, I think, a size 8 or a size 10 round brush. And this is a brush I already had in my craft supplies. And I'm using a piece of watercolor paper. I first wet the paper, so this is wet onto wet. And I have two of the blues that are from the 24 set Arteza watercolors, and I'm just adding it in strokes and streaks, and look how well these colors blend together. And not only that, look at how well the color melts into the paper. It is just like creamy dreamy. It's wonderful, and I like how all of those heavy stroke marks, they're just fading out and smoothing themselves down. It's really, really nice. And you can see here that the colors are going to clean up very easily as well. I won't clean up the colors that are in the watercolor pans. That is going to be something that I keep those pans, and I can travel with it. I can use it in, you know, on the go, and it's just, they're working out so nicely. Another way that I can see using the tube form is to make white splatters or black splatters or any color splatters that I like. So you can see that I put a small amount onto a clear block, added a little bit of water, and with that #1 round miniature brush, it makes the perfect splatter marks. It just works out so very well. Previously I was using different ways to get splatters that were white, and this is my favorite. I can say now that this is my favorite by far. I'm making sure to dry it, and it's going to take a few minutes to dry, and it'll be a little bit tacky, but because that watercolor is not fully diluted, then it is going to stay more white and solid, almost like a gouache. Once the little puppy is fussy cut, then I'm using one of my black Arteza twin markers that has a long felt tip end to go over the cut edge. This is just going to keep that black line looking more black. I'm trimming the panel down so that the white card base will show through, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment with charcoal soot ink from Altenew. I have the Altenew inks in the mini cubes, and I'm currently working with the 100 set of colors that come from Altenew, and I love all these beautiful colors. They're absolutely stunning. So the doggy is positioned to look on the stamp as if his tongue is sticking out and he is catching snowflakes with his tongue. That is just the cutest. Ida Rose stamps, you guys just knocked it out of the park with this little pug. He is adorable. Since I have some perfect little chunky holographic glitter pieces from Arteza, I thought it would be good to use my Nuvo Smooth Precision fine tip little glue pen to add just a few pieces here of that moonstone glitter. And it's not white, it's kind of an iridescent, and it picks up the colors that it's paired with. Thank you so much for joining me for this review and for the projects that I created. If you have any questions that I can help answer, just leave a comment below. And if you would like, share my video on social media, and you can tag me for anything that you'd like to share with me. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.